first got started in the markets and what those first steps were and why you got in?
That's a very good question. Actually, I was working in a completely different field to the financial markets, and I was at my fiance's house, and her sister had a book lying around called The Motley Fool Investment Guide. I thought, well, that looks quite interesting. So I read that, and I was pretty blown away by the power of compounded returns. So they showed various graphs of if you made, say, 5 or 6% on your money a year, or 10%, just how much it would grow over a period of 10, 20 years. And I was thinking, wow, that is pretty amazing. So that's what first got me hooked on it. And it kind of demystified the world of the financial world, because I think to a lot of people, myself included up to then, it was all a bit of a mystery, the financial markets, and anything about it was completely alien to me up until that point. And it kind of demystified, taught me about index trackers and how they tend to beat managed funds and that kind of thing. So it kind of got me hooked on the idea that you could make a lot of money potentially, particularly through using compounding, which is a very powerful way of growing money potentially. So that's what first got me into the markets, was just reading that book. And from then on, it was kind of like a journey. And also there was so much more on the internet, because the internet was really growing at that point. So, once you've got the interest, there's just virtually anything you can find out is available on the internet. So that's how I initially got into the markets.
When was that?
Probably over 10 years ago, well over 10 years ago now, while I was working in recruitment. So it was a separate interest, but it grew to be something I thought about all the time. Making money on the markets was an obsession, really, that the whole markets I found to be very, very interesting and alluring, basically.
Do you remember your first trade?
It wasn't so much a short-term trade as such to begin with. I was just literally putting money into a FTSE index tracker, as the Motley Fool Investment Guide said to do. But I think it was just a bit slow and I didn't have the patience for the long-term investing approach. It just didn't suit my personality, really. So I moved on to other things. From there I developed an interest in precious metals, but I made some horrendous mistakes to begin with, investing in some junior miners that one of them went bankrupt. I just made every mistake under the sun, and it just developed, really. And every time I made a huge mistake, I kind of learnt from it and moved on to try something else, and gradually morphed into trading the FTSE.
And when you say you learn from your mistakes, do you have a process? Do you diarise what you do?
It's mainly in my head through trial and error, although I do have a written trading plan now that I follow religiously, but it's mainly I think one thing you can't underestimate with trading is the emotional impact it has on you when you've lost a large amount of money. It just really, there's nothing like that to drive home a message as to what you should and shouldn't be doing, I would say.
How's your trading style evolved from those very early days then?
Basically, I've now moved to a day trading. I'm now a day trader, so a short-term trader. So I don't look for multi-month moves in the FTSE. I look for very short-term moves. So I try to do lots of small trades and then use the power of compounding to grow the overall amount. So it's a lot more intense and a lot more time-consuming, but I prefer it that way.
And in terms of your time, I mean, are you a full-time day trader now? What else do you do?
Yes, that is what I do now. That is my main thing that I do. So I trade between the hours of 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. basically. That's when the market, the FTSE is open. Well, the FTSE is more or less open 24/7 during Monday to Friday. But that's when I will actually do trades between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. depending upon when I get my signal to do a trade. So those are the hours that I will be either in a trade or monitoring the market, looking for my next trade.
Good man. And I guess there's a one-word answer to this, but are you successful in your trading?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I am. I am successful in it. I mean, I've had some massive ups and downs over the last few years, but yes, I am. I am making money on all three of my trading accounts. So yes, you could say I'm successful in that sense. Yeah.